There's so many books. Hello and welcome back. Once again, I've had like 10 views in my last few vlogs, so who am I welcoming back? I don't know. But whoever you are, hello, I'm glad you're here. My name is Maria, and this YouTube channel and my TikTok channel, which I'll put on here, is my senior thesis. We're halfway there. We have 2 more vlogs to go, this one and another one. A little book haul slash like recommendation video. I'm a huge reader, I'm a writer, I've mentioned this before. Let's get right to it. Let's start with like classics that I brought with me because they make me feel like I'm a little girl again. So they're like children's books. It's called The Candy Makers. Wendy Maz is an iconic children's writer. She also wrote the Willow Fall series, which I don't have. Once again, it's in my house, but I'm gonna put pictures up here. This one right here in my college house just proves to you how good it is, because I read it from time to time. It's a children's book, but it's huge. It is so good. It's like a children's mystery, but also it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory vibes. We'll never stop raving about this book. Like, I'm 23. The next children's one that we have is very mainstream by comparison, but I had to show it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. Of course, I've been keeping up with these books and they've been coming out like since I stopped reading them like as a child. They still come out, and whenever I see a new one, usually at the airport, which is really funny now that I think about it, but whenever I see a new one, instant buy. I've read every single one of them. I don't know how much they are now. Maybe like I'm behind on the newest one because I haven't bought one in a while, but I read them. I don't mind. Am I 23? Yes. Am I gonna buy the new one if there is any when I see it? Absolutely. Percy Jackson. I have not reread Percy Jackson in over 10 years, I think. It's worth mentioning, but that does not take away the fact that it shaped me. It made me a reader. I read all 10 of them, binge read them, reread them a couple of times when I was little, and fell in love. Like, just if you haven't read Percy Jackson, what are you doing? It's just lit. This is the stuff of legends. It literally says it right there. I've read the whole series, but this is the only one I have physically. But I've read the other 2 that are called Hooked and Wretched. But this is Scarred. It's like a fantasy, dark fantasy retelling, but it has no fantasy element whatsoever. Like, it's a romance, you know, in the normal world, like on Earth, but it's based on like the plot line of several fairy tales. So this one's based on The Lion King. You guys, the way this woman, Emily McIntyre, writes, it's too good. It is too good. I've loved every single one of her books. I haven't read the last one, Twisted, which is based on Aladdin, but I'm excited for it. But Hooked is the first one. I think Hooked, well, I don't know. Between this one and Hooked, they're both my favorite. Wretched was okay. Back with another children's one. I'm sorry, this is such a disaster. I might fix this in editing. I might not. But this is another children's one. It's called The Land of Stories. It's by Chris Colfer, which is actually the guy from Glee. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but he's amazing. Like, the fact that he wrote this to me is insane. I don't know why, but it's so good. It's a series of books. This is the first one, and once again, I'm a fairy tale girly. I think maybe that's kind of what I'm trying to say with this video, but it's this fairy tale, once again retelling, but it's like children's. They fall into this like land of fairy tales. There's 2 kids. 110% recommend for like children wanting to get into reading, or even if you're like me and you love reading and you love fantasy and you love fairy tales, do it. An interesting one, because I loved this the first time I read it, and I reread it like that period of time, like 2 times, I think. I loved it. But I tried to reread it lately and I can't. I don't remember anything about it because I read it such a long time ago. So I've tried rereading it, but I can't. But for sure, the plot is amazing. Characters are really complex. I have to try it. I don't know why I can't. And I can't really tell you anything about it because I don't even remember it. I just know I loved it. But I can't do it again. I don't know why. Obviously, I had to talk about Harry Potter just because I have the whole entire series here. I'm going to try and insert a clip of all the books because they're like this special edition and they're all like shiny and beautiful. This is the second one. Look at Dobby. I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. Harry Potter will forever be my favorite story ever, worldwide, ever, forever and ever. So I had to show these. Legend. This book is so underrated, but if you like The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent, all that type of dystopian, you know, vibe, you have got to read Legend. It's a trilogy as well. It's dystopian as well. It has romance, it's action, it's adventure, it's, you know, betrayal. It's just, oh, it's so good. I'm such a nerd. Okay, next, this one is an interesting one because I bought it. I've seen so many good things about it. And I've tried to read it, but not really. So I'm not saying it's not readable because I haven't had a lot of time. So it's not like, whoa. I think it's the third person narration that really gets me. Over the years, I've really come to hate the third person narration. And I don't know why. I used to like not mind it at all. But over the years, it takes me a while to get into a story if it's third person narration. So it has to be really good. And they say this is, so I just need to give it another chance, but I'm excited for it. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. I'm in the book 2 of the Twisted series. I read Twisted Love. I did love it. A lot of people say Twisted Love's like the worst one. It's what got me to buy the second one. Like I did read Twisted Love in like a day. This is who I am. I read books in like a day if I like them, and if they don't, they stay on my shelf forever. But the point is I bought the second one. I haven't been able to read it yet. I started it. I'm like, what, page 40? It did not reel me in as quick as Twisted Love for some reason. I don't know why. I'm gonna finish it. Like I'm excited to read it, but I like how she writes, so, you know, we'll see. We have this beauty. This beautiful thing that I cannot get over. Every time I look at this, it just makes me so happy because it's all young dudes. And look at the cover. Please, just look at the cover. I have not read this. I'm still reading the first one, but the first one I ordered didn't have this nice cover. I made it like super, you know, normal. And then when I realized I was loving it, I ordered this right away and made this beautiful cover. So this is what I'm showing, even though I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited to just look at this. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. It's the Addicted Callaway series, and the book I have on hand right now is Fuel the Fire. It's a 10-book series, so I know that might be a little intimidating, but if you're into romance, I can't even say because it's not just romance, but you know, it's a romance book, but it's just, oh God, it's such a good series. The characters will forever be my favorite characters in a lot of aspects, and I swear to God, like these 6 characters are my family. I swear to God, I'm gonna cry. I love these books. I can't stress it enough. These books are amazing, which leads me a new series, which is called Damaged. No, it's called Like Us. This one's called Damaged Like Us. Oh my God. The point is this series now follows the children of the original characters of the Addicted Callaway series. And here's the thing, I'm halfway through. I love it because I love their writing style. Kristen Beccarucci, their writing style is one of my favorite things ever. So I am enjoying it, but it does not come close to Addicted yet. I know I'm just halfway there, and Addicted took a while to, you know, make that impression on me. So I'm giving it a chance, but I don't think anything can come close to Addicted Callaway. It's insane. And last but not least, of course, we're gonna do a little shameless plug. This obviously is my favorite book ever because I wrote it. It's The 6 Olympians by Maria Alarcón. It's about 6 orphans that have no memories because their Greek gods vanished to Earth. Okay, but anyways, of course, I'm obsessed with it and I think it's amazing, and I'm writing the sequel. So if you're into young adult fantasy, Greek mythology type of vibes and you're watching this to this 13-minute point, check it out. I really enjoyed doing it. As you can see, books are they literally have my heart. But yeah, I've had such a good time talking about books to you guys or whoever's gonna watch this. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see you next week. Bye.